In this class activity, you're given a globe with lines of latitude and longitude on it, and you're asked to label various points or lines of longitude and latitude on the globe. So I'm just going to start out by once again putting this into PowerPoint because it's just easier to draw and label in there than it is in Word. So I'm going to copy this, paste it over here, and then I'll also bring over that list so that I can remember what I need to label. Okay, so these are the things that you're asked to label. The first one is the North Pole, and of course we typically put that at the top of the globe, so I'm just going to label that up here. So the North Pole, remember, that's just a point. It's where all of those lines of all of the lines of latitude and longitude, or all the lines of longitude come together, and the line of latitude is not a line, but it's just a point. So I'm just going to put that on. That's a point right there. Okay? So that's the North Pole, and of course the South Pole would be at the other end, but we're not asked to label that. The equator, I mentioned that these lines are 15 degrees apart, so this would be 90 degrees north, 75 degrees north, 60 degrees north, 45 degrees north, 30 degrees north, 15 degrees north, and 0 degrees north or south. This line here would be the equator. So the equator is going to be this line right here, and if you want to, you could also put in a some sort of indicator to show exactly where that is. Make sure that I understand what you're labeling as the equator. Okay. For the lines of longitude, of course, the zero line of longitude is the prime meridian, and there's no real reason. It's not halfway between two poles like the equator is, so you just have to pick one of these as the prime meridian. Because we have a negative value of longitude and a positive value of longitude, east is going to be positive longitude, it's best if you put the prime meridian right down the middle here, just so everything fits on and nothing's on the back side of the globe that we can't see. So I'm going to label the prime meridian. I'm just going to move this once I've labeled it over to here. Then I'm going to draw in an arrow to clearly indicate what I'm calling the prime meridian. So that's going to be this line right here. Make sure you put it not close to any of the lines of latitude. And then when you're putting on latitude and longitude, remember that, for example, a plus 45 latitude, like we see here, is going to be 45 degrees north of the equator. So that would be three of these lines, 15, 30, 45. So this would be the line of 45 north latitude, and you want to label that clearly. And then the line of the line of 60 degrees south latitude is going to be down in this direction here. So if this is 0, this is 15, 30, 45, and this last one we see here would be the 60 degrees south line of latitude. It could also be referred to as minus 60 degrees latitude, but in this case it happens to be 60 degrees south. And then for the two lines of longitude, one is minus 75 degrees longitude. So remember, as we move towards the west, we get into negative numbers here. So this is going to be minus 15, 30, minus 45, minus 60. This line here is going to be minus 75 degrees longitude. And the positive longitude is going to be east of the prime meridian, and 60 is going to be 4 divisions, or 15, 30, 45. This line here is going to be 60 degrees east longitude. So please go ahead and finish labeling this globe, and then you'll submit that as class activity 2.1.